Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think the questions Vijay has posted are something which we have done, or he posted new questions. Yeah, yes, fine. See the first question. I hope you are all able to see the screen. See the first question. Among several factors for India's potential growth, savings rate is the most effective one. Do you agree? What are the other factors available for growth potential? Good question. Okay, take 5 minutes of time and then give your framework. Yeah, good points, Mahesh and Rajni. Yes. So, see the question. The question says, among several factors for India's potential growth, savings is the most effective one. Okay, that is the first part of the question. Do you agree? Okay, yes, we agree. In general, we agree. Yes. What are the other factors available for growth potential? So simply, they are asking you different factors of growth. So they are saying savings as an important part of growth. And then what are the other factors? So you will write the framework of this answer will be, you will give the introduction about economic growth, and then savings as one of the factors for economic growth, other factors for economic growth.
Screen sharing.
Screen sharing got switched off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So savings, economic growth, other factors towards economic growth, conclusion as to how we are aspiring for a $5 billion economy, $5 billion economy or something of that sort. So framework is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can talk about what is economic growth. Economic growth is the growth of GDP. Okay. Economic growth is the growth of GDP of a country. Okay. And then for this, the GDP, for this, the factors like savings, infra, etc. are major components. Major components. So in the body, you'll write savings as main factor of growth. So what is the saving potential in India? You can write savings have been hovering around 30% of GDP. Among these savings, 80% belong to personal savings. Very important. The 80% of the savings belongs to personal savings. Okay, so that means most of the savings are household savings. But the thing is, in India, household savings do not translate into investments. Why it doesn't translate into investments? So you can say the main reason being taboo towards investments, no awareness, okay, and then lack of risk taking. You must have seen that your grandfathers, generation of that your grandfathers, they still prefer to have money in savings account. Savings account hardly gives you 2.5 to 3% interest, but they are comfortable to place money in savings account. They don't want to, if at all, the maximum risk they can take is they will put it into FD, fixed deposit, which gives around 6 to 7% return. No one, did you ever see most, hardly there may be some remote cases or very rare cases, bonds, shares, all these risk taking investment mechanism, the previous generation did not take. So it is because of the taboo of investments. So you can say this. And then what are the other factors? Other factors are the factors for economic growth. What is the factors for economic growth? We did a similar question. One is the capital. You write about capital. Another is demographic dividend. Demographic dividend, which is nothing but the human resource. Okay. Then technology. Then investments. Then government policies. All these, write one line about it, government policies. And then finally, the political stability. And then macroeconomic stability. So all these are important aspects. Okay. And then in the conclusion, you will write the importance of savings to be diverted to investments needs to be told to common households. The paradox of high savings and low investments in Indian economy has to be overcome along with other factors of growth to achieve the dream of $5 billion economy. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the thing. Yeah. Sumant, are you available?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
You have written this answer.
Yes, sir.
How come suddenly your answer sheet is so neat?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Good. Good introduction. You did you give any solutions at the later part? No. You say, right, people have to be educated about savings, because if you see previous generation, they are not known about the stock markets, government bonds. Okay, so how to divert these savings to investments? You have to write one point like that. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you have written why
Definitely.
savings are not coming into investment. So when you're writing challenges, you write solutions.
Sure, sir.
That is the core demand of the question. The solutions is the core demand of the question. You see, savings is an important one. Do you agree? So when you're agreeing with the statement, you give the solution how to bring
Yes, sir.
FDI. It's a 150 word question.
Yes, sir. 150 words, sir.
Then you can plan your, see, you have written so much with so much spacing and all. And I'm not sure if you really made 150 words, Sumant. Just count your words. Okay. Let me know in your personal, let me know in the personal chat. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
sure if you have written 150 words. Prima facie, when I see your answer, it looks to me like an 80 word answer. It is around 80 to 100 words. So if you are just occupying 2 pages and writing this 100 words, it will not fetch you, because your total content is missing. Content is reduced. So plan your answer, plan your presentation. In this question, you have to write more factors for growth. Factors, whatever more factors are there, you have to write. Okay, in the conclusion. Okay, conclusion is decent. So more factors for growth. You have written only 2. Other factors are there. Technology is there. Other there. So the examiner is expecting you to write those also. Okay, see, if I discussed 6 factors, you may remember only 4. But out of 6, if you write only 2, that looks that you are not having content. Understood? Even if I write in an exam, it will be only out of 6, I may write only 4 or 5. But at least you should write 4. Here you have written only 2. Understood?
Yes, sir. Like maybe I should change this, sir. What I've done is, if it is 150 words or 10 marker answer, somehow, I mean, like I've fitted something like, it should not exceed more than 2 pages. One page in the question page and the second page, and my answer is done. And moreover, to avoid scanning and stuff, I'm directly writing on iPad, sir. So maybe that's the reason I'm unable to adjust the fonts as to smaller thing. So what I'll do from tomorrow is, either I'll increase the I'll write on the next page, or I'll try to reduce the font size, sir. I'll make sure I'll do this. Thank you, sir.
So you wrote all this on an iPad.
Yes, sir.
So then it's a much bigger mistake. See, I am writing on an iPad because I'm evaluating your copy. But when the moment you write in the iPad, there are 2 things. What I observed personally, this is my personal observation, which maybe most of you will agree. iPad, your speed will be more, okay, when compared to pen speed. The way you can write on an iPad is far speeder, far quicker than what you write with a pen. Pen is less speed. iPad is, because the screen is so soft, the friction is less. You tend to write faster. Yes or no?
True, sir. Yes, sir.
So then you are not there. You are doing 2 mistakes. One is obviously the font and other thing. Second thing is you are unable to judge the time in which you are able to complete the answer. In iPad, maybe you'll write a 6.5 minutes answer and then feel that yes, 10 marker, I am reducing it to 6 minutes. But on a paper, That's very logical also. On a paper, if you put that pen, the friction is more, and obviously when the friction is more, speed reduces. Speed reduces, then actually your on an iPad you write 100 pages also, your hand will not ache, because I keep writing regularly on iPad for evaluating answer scripts or taking classes. My hand doesn't ache. But if I sit and write on a paper and pen, if I don't have practice, my hand starts aching. So don't do that mistake, Sumant.
Okay, sir.
And then in the process of filling in 2 pages, you are writing 2 pages of content, but then it is not 2 pages. Please remember, it is not 2 pages. It is 150 words. This is the one which UPSC is saying. It has never told 2 page, 1 page, 3 page. That is not at all the matter of UPSC. They are only bothered about this. Okay, 150 plus or minus 10%. So if it's a 150 word, up to from 135 to 165 allowed. So if you're writing 180, 190, penalized. If you're writing 80, 100, penalized. Understood?
Yes, sir.
They're,
Somehow,
they're,
like
they're
I
very
did some
clear with
fall. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
they are very clear with the way they are going to evaluate your answers. Anything less than 120, 135, if it is not making sense, your answer is going to be penalized. If you are crossing the word limit and unable to present the important points in 165 words, you are going to be penalized.
Yes, sir. Somehow I was into that false benchmarking, sir. I'll change it, sir. Thank you.
Fine. How did land reforms in some parts of the country help to improve socio-economic conditions of marginal and small farmers? Okay, I think it's a good question based on post-modern and then economic part. And land reforms, you can write even the present land reforms. Okay, so in the country help to improve socio-economic conditions of marginal and small farmers. Take 3 minutes of time and then give the answer. Yeah, good points, Rajni. So see this question. How did land reforms in some part of the country help to improve socio-economic conditions of marginal and small farmers? Okay. So yes, good point, Sumant. Yes. You need to give the examples of Kerala and West Bengal. Yeah. See the question. The question says, how did the land reforms in some parts of the country improve socio-economic conditions, especially of small and marginal farmers? So first thing is you give the examples. Introduction will be obviously give introduction about the land reforms. Then in the body you give the examples of the states which have successfully implemented these land reforms and how it has impacted socio-economic conditions. And then you give the present challenges, solutions, then conclude saying how land reforms are important to double the farmers' income as suggested by which committee? Which committee?
Swaminathan, I guess.
Ashok Dalwai committee.
When I wrote AD, you should be ready. Ashok Dalwai committee. Conclusion clear? Is the framework clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Economy is a subject which you are reading day in and day out. Okay, through your Hindu editorials or through your Yojanas, Kurukshetras, current affairs. So wherever possible, bring that element of freshness into your answer. It is one of those very rare subjects where you can use your static content plus current affairs and make a very good presentation. You cannot do that with history. You cannot do that with geography. You cannot do with, you can play such things with very limited number of subjects. Economy is something like that, and basically because of its continuity, because when you read inflation, you don't confine yourself to the definition of inflation. Every day when you open a newspaper, you see inflation, articles related to inflation, articles related to control news, inflation, monetary policy, then qualitative measures, quantitative measures. So much is written about something which is hardly a one-page thing in your textbook. It has become a very big subject of discussion. So these kind of continuity you see in the economy, and inform the examiner that you are updated, be it committees, be it the current affairs. Throw some good stats at him, you are, if you are able to know it. So throw some good rankings or ratings at him, so he'll be really appreciating the fact that yes, this particular person who has written this answer is well aware of what he or she is writing. Okay, this is not pertaining to this question. Of course, in this question the current affair orientation will be less, but in general, if you see the kind of questions they are asking you, more and more agriculture economy based, and in economy they are asking you some static content based question. So that question you use as an opportunity to tell the examiner that boss, it's a question on inflation, but then I have been following this inflation, I am seeing the MPC plus or minus 4 plus or minus 2%, it has not able to meet that because of COVID XYZ reasons, and today again they have increased the repo rates and all. So it's a lot of continuity, so try to maintain that. Okay, so coming to introduction. So introduction is, you write about land reforms. So it's basically for regulating the land holdings, okay, it started in independent India, and could impact the marginal and small farmers. In the body you'll write land reforms. What are the states which are successful? Kerala and West Bengal. What are the land reforms in these two states? That is, one is main thing is in Kerala, and thing is they have mainly abolition of zamindari, zamindars. Then land ceiling was main thing. Land ceiling, which gave the excess lands to landless, protection to tenants, Then in some states, the cooperative farming gained momentum, and so on. So then these are the land reforms. How they have impacted the socio-economic conditions. Socio-economic conditions is the concept of bonded labor. The concept of bonded labor reduced. Okay, tenants enjoyed land rights, which gave them more societal respect. They could earn revenue through their produce. Okay, and then they got access to government subsidies or schemes, and then also to MSP, etc. So the socio-economic condition improved. So then challenges. What are the present challenges? The average land holding. What is the average land holding in India? Anyone?
1 hectare, sir.
Less than around 1.5 hectares.
Sir, as
I
per
think-
sir,
Yeah,
as
tell
per
me.
Situation Assessment Survey 2019, it is 0.542 hectares per household, sir. Average.
Okay, average. Okay, anyhow, we are saying around less than 1 hectare, na? Then you can say around less than 1 hectare. If you know the exact stat, you write. Okay, it is less than 1 hectare. Okay. Okay, Sumant,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
can be less than or equal to 1 hectare. So this is not giving you economies of scale. The main aim is to show this. Economies of scale is not possible at this particular land holding. Okay, so this is also called as, a lot of land is fragmented. So there is no technology which can be applied to these lands. Technology cannot be economical. You cannot use tractor for half acre, na? So that is a problem. So those are the issues. And then, so in solutions, you write the PM Kisan, very good scheme. Of course, it is an article came about it in the very recent past. PM Kisan is a good scheme. Or you can write Raitu Bandhu of Telangana. Raitu Bandhu of Telangana state. Okay, then you can talk about FPOs, farmer producer organizations. Okay, you can talk about organic farming, and then you can talk about micro irrigation by land pooling and so on. And then finally you can conclude again that what I told you, the land reforms have to be implemented in letter and spirit to double the farmers' income, as per Ashok Dalwai committee. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So who has come? Venkateshwari has written after a long time. Good. You talk about the states which are successful, Kerala and West Bengal, and coincidentally both are communist governments which have been successful. What is the socio-economic impact? That is the next part of the question. Socio-economic impact, and then challenges.
Sir, it is 23rd question she wrote.
This is land reforms, sir. Same question is there.
Yes, sir. Almost same question.
Okay.
So only the second part is changed.
Okay. I did not see that. Fine. Who is the other person? Sushmita. Did you write that? Okay. Right. She wrote. Okay. Tenants reforms, cooperative farming. Sushmita. Okay. The content which you have written is good, but a lot of information can be added. I hope you have seen our model answer and try to just check your answer in those lines and try to make it. Clear? See the 23rd question. Discuss the role of land reforms in agricultural development. Identify the factors that were responsible. A very similar question, right? Very, very similar question. So that's the reason
Yes,
I was
sir.
confused. See, again, factors that were responsible for success of land reforms is what? The governments, land pooling, and then role of land reforms in agricultural development. What has improved here for socio-economic development is also agricultural development. Then you'll talk, okay, of course, you'll bring in green revolution here. Green revolution. Oh, almost 80% of the answer will be similar of what you wrote in the previous question. How many of you agree or some of you disagree? Maybe you can write few more government schemes. Okay. And then again talk about the challenges. Okay. And then give the conclusion. How many of you feel this 23rd answer is completely different from 22nd? Or is most of them feel that it is 80% same?
Sir, small doubt, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, green revolution is more benefited when land area is more, no, sir.
Green revolution is more beneficial when land area is more.
But
Okay.
due to
See,
land
everything.
reforms, we got
No,
only less lands, no, sir.
Mahesh, everything is more beneficial when land area is more. Using technology, using any other means is more. But in green revolution, within that land limit also they could produce more. Why? Because they use more fertilizers.
Hybrid variety of seed.
They use hybrid yielding varieties. They use more water. So
Okay,
this
okay,
was
sir.
the fundamental thing. And that is why now present day Punjab and Haryana are facing this groundwater problem. Na?
Yes, sir.
If you see the present day thing, their soils are already saturated.
Sir.
Soils are saturated, groundwater table is decreasing. Okay, and then the lot of pollution is there because of fertilizers, groundwater is polluted. So anything will be more advantageous when taken up on the economies of scale. Like if you pool instead of 4 acres, you do agriculture on 40 acres, maybe your chances of getting better output is there. But green revolution is about producing more within that 4 acres.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 23rd question. How many of you are saying it's okay, fine? So here you have to say that what are the factors responsible for success of, identify the factors that were responsible for success of government reforms. So land reforms. What are the major states? Kerala, West Bengal. So you can say the governments of the day are very important. Government's political will. And then you can say that the individual farmers, these are the factors of the second part. Individual farmers and their attitude in parting away with excess lands. Okay. And then these are some of the important things, success of land reforms.
Sir, planning comes in first plan, fourth plan, fifth plan.
So government, okay, you can say central government planning. What else? So these are 3 or 4 factors which you can mention. And the first part of the question is already you have seen. It is what is its role in agricultural development? Clear? 23rd question.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, can we mention government schemes such as waiving of loans and providing free current and those such as schemes as they are helping the small and marginal farmers, sir.
No, in what
reducing
context
their
it is?
savings.
That is okay.
In
That
the-
is for increasing the
in the-
agricultural output or promoting agriculture.
yes,
In
sir.
what ways it is related to land reform?
Sir, because of land reforms, the land holdings were reduced, no, sir. In less
Huh?
land, the land holdings were reduced, no, sir. In less
Okay.
reduced land holdings, and now the investors were small and marginal farmers, no, sir.
Uh-huh.
For promoting agricultural with these 2 aspects, I thought that these are also helpful, sir.
No, land reforms have led to land fragmentation. This is one of the inferences. But because of land fragmentation and to support my small farmers, I am giving free power and free this thing. That is the next level of logical thing, but that has nothing to do with land reforms. I am trying to say.
Sir.
Do you agree?
Sir, but what I want to tell is that in the question it is given that uh, the role of land reforms in agricultural development, sir.
Mhm.
So the agriculture was still developed. The agriculture we have achieved the agriculture development still in those fragmented lands with these schemes is my point, sir.
Agricultural, no, I am not able to connect your point. Agriculture land reforms. So you are saying land reforms have led to land fragmentation, and to come out of that land fragmentation and low productivity, I am giving all these schemes, and hence it has given agricultural development. Then
Sir.
they will ask you why land reforms is not. You can always allow the big farmer to take. So here in the second question, in the third question also, though you are mentioning about agricultural development, you have to give the angle of social and economic angle, because having one's own land is a very big privilege in India. And how did it help in agricultural development? Because everyone, see, when you have a land, you are definitely more attached to it. If you are working in some
Sir.
other land and if you are working your own land, there is a significant difference, right?
Sir.
So that is the thing. Anyone else have any point to add here? What Mahesh is trying to say? No one? Is everyone available?
Yes, sir. I mean, I felt little. I mean, the loan waivers and the power subsidies. I felt that is kind of irrelevant. And also, if we write that, I feel they are actually financially unsustainable, and it is causing a major dent on fiscal deficit also. So what I feel
There
is,
is a huge debate on these subsidies also already.
yes, sir. So already irrelevant, but again to mention also, it will be a little controversial. So I thought it was not actually needed there, sir.
So see this question. I'm just directly going to the one which is written by Venkateshwari. Okay. The question is identify the success. The question is how this land, okay, agricultural development. You should link the land reforms to agricultural development, Venkateshwari. You've written what are the various land reforms. That is not the question. Here the relation between land reform to agricultural development. As we discussed, that should be linked. Okay. Good. These are good. These points are good. Responsible success of land reforms. These are good. Okay. Good conclusion. Are you available, Venkateshwari, in the class? I think she's not there.
Sir, I'm not available, but I'm listening, sir.
Who is that?
Sir, my
Who-
phone is not working, sir. I'm listening from Prashanti's phone.
Venkateshwari,
Sir.
is it you who are speaking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. No issue. Did you see the question, Amma? Did you see your answer script?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I saw.
The second part of the answer was relevant, but the first part of the answer you are writing more about reforms, but it should be linked to the agricultural development. Are you able to appreciate that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know. You see, one good thing is most of you will feel economy as easy, which indeed it is. Because the more you add the content, the more better it becomes. See the 24th and last question. In view of the declining average size of land holdings in India, which has made agriculture non-viable for majority of farmers. Okay, very good. Should contract farming and land leasing be promoted in agriculture? Critically evaluate. You see how many questions every year on year. See 15, 17, 15, 16, 17, 21. So 4 questions in the span of 8 years. Maybe you can say 7 years at least. So it shows the importance of this land holdings, land reforms, because we keep on studying what are the issues with agriculture. First point, anyone who has read economy will write the average land holding of a farmer is less than 1 hectare. So that is the first point you write. But then the examiner is expecting you to come out of that point and approach it as a practical problem, which indeed it is, and give very logical and coherent solutions. Because as a civil servant, you are not a arm admi or arm citizen who's going on complaining. Okay, you are expected to give solutions. That solutions can be out of box, innovative, or somewhere you have read worldwide best practices. In some article you read, and if you feel those are really worthy enough to mention in the exam, you can always note down and mention them. Those need not be part of my model answer or some institute's booklet or some XYZ. It can be your own point which you have seen in some place, or you might have thought about the topic and then you might have arrived at it. Array, if we do like this, Indian economy can grow. If we do like this, Indian agriculture can become more sustainable. So these kind of thinking UPSC will definitely encourage. And you see your critically evaluate pros and cons. So they are asking you, should contract farming and land leasing be promoted in agriculture? So that is a straightaway question. And they're saying critically evaluate pros and cons. Take just 2 minutes and then give the answer. Yeah. Rajni. Okay, good points, Rajni and Mahesh. So this is a 200-word answer. Okay, so these days there is nothing called 200-word answer. So assume that this is 250-word answer. And so here you see, I hope everyone is able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone is able to see the chat window.
Yes.
So the question is about, in view of the decline average size of land holding, which has become non-viable for farmers, should contract farming and land leasing be promoted? Critically evaluate pros and cons. Contract farming is one part, land leasing is another part. So there is a subtle difference between land leasing and contract farming. I hope you all understand that. Contract farming is generally done by, for example, that PepsiCo does for Lay's chips and all, you know that. Land leasing is something which I have a land and it lease it out to people for producing. So both of them should have critically evaluate means they are only saying critically evaluate pros and cons. So give the advantages, drawbacks. So you see the structure given by Rajni. She has given introduction. What is contract farming? Advantages, drawbacks, land leasing, advantages, drawbacks, some government initiatives, and then conclusion. So, Rajni, you have written this on your own, or you have seen somewhere and just tried to write this?
No, sir, written this on my own. Just the definitions I saw.
Definitions you have seen. You have seen the advantages and drawbacks you written on your own.
It was basic, sir. So, like after reading everything.
So you have read or written. So you have read today and written, or read sometime back and written.
Read sometime before, sir. Not today.
Okay. Before starting of economy module, you have read, I am assuming. Okay, but even then,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so one thing is, okay, if you can read economy module started only 1 week, 10 days back. So if you're able to reproduce at this point of time so much, it is decent, or it is definitely decent. But if you can do this even after 1 year, okay, where you'll not be reading economy module or economy stuff day in and day out, you'll be revising economy just before your mains or somewhere like that. If you can write this level of answer, okay, this is a very comprehensive answer. Okay, so the presentation, the framework, everything is really good. So does anyone have anything to suggest in this answer? So even if I have to discuss, in fact, my model answer, I'm being very honest, my model answer is almost the same as what I have seen here. So that's what I was just,
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, what conclusion? What did she write, sir? I'm
Yeah, you
just
see the conclusion. You see the conclusion. See, Sumant, introduction and conclusions. Okay, just let me speak, Sumant. So what I'm trying to say, introduction and conclusions. Now that we have done, we are doing this exercise for almost 3-4 months, right? Yes, Sumant. So
yes, sir.
introduction.
Yes, sir.
I'm not. If you see, I'm not really bothered if your introduction or conclusion is meeting my introduction or conclusion, because I respect the fact that each and everyone have their own way of presentation, especially with regard to introduction and conclusion. Okay, you are someone who's comfortable with throwing the stats at the examiner. I have seen that. Someone has some other style. For example, Rajini, if I take her way of presentation, she is more comfortable in introducing the definition. She is someone who introduces the key term of the question and then starts the presentation. Shanta Prasad has his own way. Of late, Mahesh is writing, Sushmita is writing. Some people who are now joining the regular writing exercise. Everyone I'm seeing, of course, I'll over a period of time I'll get to know what is the specialty of Sushmita, Mahesh, and all. But then you people, someone who are writing like Shanta, Rajni, and then Anil, Raghuram. So all these people, I know that you have your own strengths and way of presenting. So I'm not really bothered as long as you're making sense in your introduction and conclusion. Generally, unless your conclusion is completely different from the demand of the question, I am not suggesting you to change conclusion. I may have my own conclusion. You may have your own conclusion. Rajni may have one. But one common thing we all should know is the core demand of the question should be 80 to 90% similar, at least 70% similar. Everyone should have core demand of the question similar. Understood, Sumant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Core demand of the question for that particular core demand of the question should be addressed in your answer. That should match at least 65 to 70% in my answer with yours or your answer with mine. Introduction, because of my experience, I may write a completely different introduction. Because you people are evolving over a period of time, you may write better introductions than mine. So that I am very much clear. So not at all a problem. So conclusion, what she has written, we need collaboration of government, private. In fact, I have not read her conclusion at all, because I don't mind whatever she is writing as long as she is making sense. Of course, now I am reading. We need collaboration of government, private, and farmers to pull resources to increase production to ensure food security. We need to go beyond contract farming and land leasing. Okay, she is proposing a holistic conclusion. Yeah, Suman, tell me.
Yes, sir. I've read the whole answer. I've read the whole answer, but one major missing I found is the government initiative of cooperative farming and formation. Ministry of Formation of FPOs formation.
And Ministry
that
of
is being
Cooperative.
yes, sir. One government initiative is formation of Ministry of Cooperation at the center. Second thing, if we actually see the ground level in many states, especially where the BJP is ruling in state governments also, there have been accelerated registration of FPOs, sir. So if so if not, I mean, FPOs is something, I mean, it won't have the disadvantages of contract farming or land leasing, where the ownership still lies with the farmers, still they will be cultivating, but on behalf of them, a leader who is elected is actually dealing. So the disadvantages emanating from these two can actually be, answered through FPOs. So if she have added that, that would have, I mean, now the answer is no less, sir. It is very holistic, but just adding this point, sir. That's it.
Definitely. And then you can even add the points of last two questions. That is the land reforms. Okay. So the contract farming and land leasing is a way of using your land. But you can say that land reforms, and again, of course, FPOs and all are again the extension of contract farming and land leasing, much refined versions. So FPOs you can use. Rajni, I hope Sumant has made a good point. You can definitely include that. Instead of in government initiative, you can say that there has been a lot of thrust and focus on FPOs. Okay. And then always, wherever the question is, especially I'm just going back to the question here, wherever the question is about, increasing something in agriculture and all, try to bring in some element of technology, because if you see today, the industry 4.0, which is popularly called industry 4.0, there has been a big article on drones being used in agriculture, how they are improving and all. So you come out of this, so you say that apart from contract farming and land leasing, there are some solutions which I feel can improve the agriculture as a whole. That is using technology, promoting FPOs. So all these you write, okay, and then having more number of agricultural universities at state level, because agriculture is a state subject, okay, and then include more public-private partnerships, better private investments, so on and so forth. This kind of solutions you write, 3 or 4 solutions, and then give the conclusion. Again, in conclusion, you say these are some of the important steps. If we are all dreaming about $5 billion economy. COVID has shattered our hopes. Again, we are on the journey of achieving it. So what we have to do right to achieve it, there are some XYZ things to do. And we all dreamt of doubling the farmers' income. We could not meet it. We have started with many schemes. Now we are giving, instead of, actually meddling with the agriculture, we are saying we are going to give input subsidies in the form of PM Kisan, XYZ and XYZ. So we are trying to reform our systems to achieve a desired goal. So again, whenever there is an agricultural economy question, try to always say that, yeah, farming has to be sustainable. The growing of farmers' income is very important. And because farming is having close to 50% of workforce in India, its sustaining is important. And 50% of workforce contributing to 18% economy is not done. It is not acceptable. As per the economical growth, 50% workforce is contributing to 18% GDP. Yes or no? It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. So what we have to do? Bring in more technology, improve the produce, improve the productivity. Okay, infuse more technology. At the same time, you say all this should not compromise on the sustainability. Improve the technology means not that in 1 acre I'll add 100 bags of fertilizer and produce more food and make that land useless. No, that is not advisable. Within that land, I'll try to increase the productivity in such a way that my future generations are not compromised. So I'll use pooling of lands, FPOs, I'll try to use government schemes, I'll try to use technology, I'll use drones, whatever it is, I'll try to use to increase my productivity. I'll try using ZBNF, zero budget natural farming and all this. So whatever information you have, categorically and systematically present in such a way that the examiner is understanding that right from the starting of farming up to the agricultural marketing, the entire supply chain system you are able to understand and present in front of the examiner in the form of solutions. Everyone followed what I was trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Mahesh Hari. I'll do Mahesh. Mahesh, you have written this?
Sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one, right? Hmm. You came to the core demand of the question very late, Mahesh. This entire page you have used to justify the statement, not really required. You have used this page to justify the statement given by the examiner. Yes or no?
Sir.
If you want to mention, you just say issues 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to here, it is okay. This is the starting, right? Up to here, you use whatever you want. From here, it should come. This one should come. Understood?
Sir.
As an examiner, I am looking at straight away. Okay, what is the prose you are writing? First, I am trying to hit this. But you see, you have come here at the end of the first page. And you have only two more pages to go. Where will you write pros and cons of both contract farming, lease farming, and then give the way forward solutions? So you will miss out on something. Let's see. You have covered both land, okay, contract farming and land farming. Yes, this is a good example. And you can say there is a more chance of commercialization of agriculture. Yes or no?
Sir.
Why? What do you mean by tribunals to be established? It's a very generic point.
That means like for resolving these special issues between these farmers and MNC companies for speed judgment issues. In courts, it
Then
might
you
be
need to write what you are trying to say. You're saying that during farm leasing and all, there will be some contractual issues for which there have to be tribunals or whatever it is. Tribunal is a very big word. You can say proper statutory agency should be identified.
Sure.
In fact, Government of India is reducing the number of tribunals.
Sure.
Again, what MSP to be given? So if the farmer is entering into contract farming, government is responsible and they should give MSP.
No, sir, in protecting farmer rights, no, sir. Means in order
You are a
to
farmer, Mahesh. You have
Yes, sir.
got into contract with PepsiCo.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are
Yes, sir.
producing potatoes for Lay's chips.
Sir.
PepsiCo, for any reason, they are not buying your potatoes. You are expecting me to give MSP? You think the points, see, I'm not trying to point out, but then the points, whatever you are mentioning, should be logical, Mahesh. Okay. So here you are asking the farmers to go and approach. So what all you can do is you can say that there should be some systems to protect the farmers from getting cheated from MNCs. That
Yes,
system
sir.
should be there. Even the
Yes, sir.
farm laws which are now withdrawn, they were a right step in making towards this. But then,
Sir,
of
sir,
course,
but-
they are withdrawn.
Sir, but what I want to mention is that minimum procuring price should be decided by the government, sir. Means they can't procure for now due to sudden yield of tomatoes price has gone to 2 rupee, 3 rupee per kg like that, no, sir. But instead of that, government should help in facilitating minimum price for which the product should be procured, sir. Not rather than government procuring directly, that I want to mention, sir.
If the farmer is getting more money, in the contract farming, you are talking about negative aspect. So if government decides to give 10 rupees, PepsiCo is deciding to give 20 rupees, then if you're saying if the PepsiCo should give at least 10 rupees, then PepsiCo will give only 10 rupees and go.
Sir, PepsiCo gives based on the demand, no, sir.
No, they are in contract, no, not demand, no. It is
Yes,
not
sir.
market. It is a contract farming. It is not a free market.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So what all you can write here is you don't want, see, in these kind of issues, government will not meddle. Government has its own way of functioning. Government has the mandis where the APMCs where they procure, where they store. For all these, government is responsible. If a farmer is entering into contract with PepsiCo, and if you are expecting government to mediate that contract, then government's job is something very different. They are not here to do. They can only facilitate laws. They can regulate this process. They are not going to get involved in this process. If a farmer gets cheated by a private MNC, they should make systems where the farmer can have and express his grievance. It is not that they are going and signing each and every contract on behalf of farmers that government cannot do.
Yes, sir.
This is good point. Everyone is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So based on the number of points, like, Rajni, maybe one thing what you can borrow from Mahesh's thing is, if the question comes for a smaller part, say for 150 words, then you can definitely write these land lease and contract farming together. Okay, pros and cons you can
Yes, sir.
combine and write. But when you're combining, Mahesh, you have to write which point corresponds to which part of the issue. This point corresponds to land leasing. This point corresponds to cooperative farming. All this you have to be clear.
Sir.
Any questions, anyone? Any questions in today's discussion?
Sir, a small doubt, sir. Sir, our first question is there on the 21st question. Means that
I'm
which
unable to get you. Your voice is echoing a lot, Mahesh.
Sir, our first question regarding India's potential growth.
Hmm.
Sir, in such type of questions, should we have to mention way forward solution separately, or no need to mention way forward solution, sir?
Way forward, what you wanted to write there?
No, sir. Means I did not write any way forward solution, sir.
So
I am
there the
asking that
question
should we
itself
write?
is asking you, apart from savings, what are the other factors?
Yes, sir.
Indirectly, that other factors are nothing but way forward. No?
Yes, sir. So
So
for
if
such
you
type of questions, we cannot mention a separate heading
no,
called way forward.
you can say if you want to mention way forward, you say that how savings and other factors can be guided towards the economic growth. If you have any innovative way, or if you have any other point where you can mention, say we discussed one question on ICOR in couple of classes back. So you can say that the best way to increase the capital is the capital productivity is to reduce the ICOR, incremental capital output ratio. Okay, so that kind of things you can give way forward. Or way forward is to have proper skilling mechanism for India's youth, which can act as a potential demographic dividend and go and add lot of laurels to the country's growth. So write it, you write 1 or 2 points if you want to write way forward and then
No,
conclude.
sir. But I am asking that is it compulsory for every question to write?
Not compulsory, Mahesh.
Okay.
See, we are discussing the broad contour of the answer. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. There is a 150-word question, there is a 250-word question. Based on the demand of the question, based on what you feel is the focus of the question, you have to present. Okay, if you see my model answer will be definitely addressed towards a bigger question, because I'm concentrating on the content as well as the framework. So whichever is feasible for that 150-word question, you try to incorporate it. You have all the weapons. Which weapon to use, you have to choose. That Nishan sir will not tell you.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
I understood. I understood, sir.
I am giving you weapons. Which weapon to use, you have to choose based on the practice and based on the demand of the question.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.